You know that feeling when you finally sink into your pillow, when the day starts to fade and the house goes quiet. There's something sacred about that threshold between the busy world and sleep. It's in those moments that we often find ourselves thinking about everything. What happened today, what we're worried about tomorrow, the people we care about, and the things we're grateful for. This prayer script is designed to be your companion during those precious moments, a gentle guide to help you process the day and find genuine peace before you drift off. This isn't about reciting something that sounds nice or impressive. This is about real connection with yourself, with the world around you, and with whatever spiritual foundation grounds your life. So take a breath, get comfortable, and let's talk about what matters most as this day comes to a close. I want to start by being honest with you. Today happened. All of it. The good stuff that made you smile, the frustrations that made you want to pull your hair out, the moments that felt meaningful, and the ones that felt like they wasted your time. It all happened, and it's okay to acknowledge that here, in this quiet space. So tonight, I'm choosing to let it go. Not in a way that means I'm pretending it didn't matter. Not in a way that means I'm ignoring the problems that still need solving. But I'm choosing, consciously and deliberately, to set down the weight of it. Because here's the thing. My mind and body cannot heal, cannot rest, cannot reset if I'm still carrying all of today's baggage into my pillow. I acknowledge the people I spoke to today, the conversations that mattered and the ones that didn't. I acknowledge the work I did, the effort I put in, whether someone noticed it or not. I acknowledge the places I went, the things I saw, the small moments that filled my hours. I'm grateful for the time I had, even the parts that felt difficult. And now, I'm consciously choosing to place all of that in a space where it can rest, where it can be processed and healed without me having to carry it into my sleep. The problems will still be there tomorrow if they need solving, but tonight, they don't get to sit in bed with me. Before I move forward, I want to pause and name something real. Despite the challenges, despite the frustrations, despite the moments when I wasn't sure how I was going to manage, I made it through today alive. That's not a small thing. My heart kept beating. My lungs kept breathing. My legs carried me where I needed to go. My mind worked, even when I felt tired. My hands were able to help, to create, to connect with others. I'm grateful for that basic miracle, for the fact that my body showed up for me today without me having to think about it, for all the automatic, miraculous processes that kept me alive and functioning. Most of the time, we take these things for granted until something goes wrong. But right now, in this quiet moment, I want to genuinely thank the complex system that is me for working the way it's designed to work. I'm also grateful for the other people who shared today with me. The ones who made me laugh, who listened when I needed to talk, who worked alongside me, who texted me something kind or unexpected. The people who loved me, whether they said it out loud or just showed it through their presence. Even the interactions with strangers, the cashier who was patient, the person who held the door, the driver who didn't honk. These small kindnesses are woven through every day if we're paying attention. Now I want to think about today not as something that was good or bad, but as something that was real and full of lessons. Even the hard parts. Especially the hard parts. If I'm being completely honest with myself, what challenged me today? What made me feel frustrated, angry, disappointed, or overwhelmed? And instead of just letting those feelings pass without understanding them, what if I looked at them for a moment? Maybe someone said something that hurt me. Instead of dismissing it or obsessing over it, what was that about? Was there truth in it that I need to hear, even if the way it was delivered stung? Or was it more about where they were coming from? Their own fears, their own stress, their own struggles? Either way, that hurt feeling is information. It's telling me something matters to me. And that's not bad. That's human. Maybe I failed at something today. I made a mistake at work, or I didn't do something well, or I forgot something important. Instead of just feeling bad about that and moving on, What if I actually looked at it? What would I do differently next time? What can I learn from this? What am I actually capable of learning from, growing from, improving because of this mistake? Maybe I had a moment where I acted in a way I'm not proud of. I snapped at someone, or I was impatient, or I made a choice that didn't align with who I want to be. These moments are uncomfortable, but they're also valuable. They're showing me exactly where I want to do better, where I still have room to grow, where my character is still being shaped and refined. The point isn't to judge yourself harshly before sleep. The point is to actually take in the lessons without the emotional weight. To see these moments not as failures, but as feedback, as information I can use to be a better person tomorrow. And let me flip this around. What actually went well today? I'm not talking about huge, dramatic moments. I'm talking about the real stuff. The moment when you felt capable, even if it was just for a few seconds. The time when you helped someone, even in a small way. The moment when you felt a genuine emotion, laughter, connection, peace, or even just relief. Maybe you had a conversation that really mattered. Maybe you created something, even if it was just a nice dinner or a clean space. Maybe you stayed consistent with something you care about. Maybe you said no to something that doesn't serve you. Maybe you showed up for someone when it would have been easier to disappear. These moments are the real currency of a life well lived. They're worth acknowledging. They're worth feeling proud of. They're worth remembering as you drift off to sleep, because your brain will process them during the night, and it will reinforce them in your character. So tonight, I'm genuinely grateful for the moments when I got it right. When I was kind. When I was brave. When I was present. When I tried. When I didn't give up. These small victories matter. Now, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let silence settle around me like a blanket. I'm going to notice my breath, in and out, in and out. The most natural rhythm in the world, something my body has been doing since before I was born. I'm going to let my thoughts slow down and settle, like a snow globe after you've shaken it. All the flakes slowly drifting down and coming to rest at the bottom. I'm going to trust that my body knows what to do, that my mind knows how to process and heal, that sleep will come naturally if I just stop fighting it and let it happen. I'm going to rest. And tomorrow, I'll do it all again. I'll wake up. I'll face whatever comes. I'll try again. I'll love again. I'll work again. I'll make mistakes and learn from them. I'll feel joy and sadness and everything in between. But tonight, I rest. And in this rest, I find not just the restoration of my body, but the renewal of my spirit. I find peace not because everything is perfect, but because I've chosen to accept what is. I find hope not because I know the future, but because I trust in my ability to meet it. So I close my eyes. I breathe slowly and deeply. I release this day and welcome the night. I trust in rest. I trust in tomorrow. I trust in myself. And in that trust, I find peace. Sleep well. You've earned it. Tomorrow will be waiting for you, full of possibility and potential and chances to be more of who you're becoming. But that's tomorrow's story. Tonight, it's time to rest.